Today is September 18th, 2025. This forum features 7 candidates who have filed for the Bloomfield Hills City Commission. Vote for 5 for a 2-year term. The sponsor of this forum is the League of Women Voters, Oakland area. I'm Wendy Friedman, a member of the League of Women Voters. I am not a resident of this district. The League of Women Voters is a trusted national nonpartisan political organization. Our members do the hands-on work to safeguard democracy. While we never endorse a candidate, we're directly involved in shaping the critical issues that keep our community strong. As a League of Women Voters member, I can contribute in a leadership role such as this one that significantly impacts local, state, and even national elections. If you're interested in learning about how you can make a similar impact, I encourage you to pick up some of the League's information available here tonight or visit our website at lwvoa.org. The League of Women Voters does not endorse any candidate or political party. Views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates, and the sponsors take no responsibility. The format for this forum has been established by the League of Women Voters. We ask that the audience please remain silent during the forum. Please turn off all cell phones if you haven't already done so. We ask that candidates answer the question with their views only and not interrupt other candidates. The questions are asked to all candidates and do not single out any candidate. All candidates will answer questions submitted by the audience and screened for duplication and appropriateness by Marie Donegan and Jerry Rinschler. Pages Marie Wollison, Deborah Flegel, and Christine Allen will circulate with paper and pencils for your questions. Please turn in your questions to those individuals. The format is as follows. All candidates will be given 1 minute for opening statements in an alphabetical order and 1 minute for closing statements in reverse order. The candidates will have 1 minute to answer each question in rotation unless extended by the moderator. All candidates will be allowed equal time to answer questions. Our timer is Virginia Abbott. The candidates are Alan Ackerman, Alice Buckley, Brian Jennings, and Anjali Prasad. Also on the ballot, but not here tonight, are Brad Baxter, Lauren Fisher, and Susan McCarthy. As part of our opening statements, I will read the statements submitted by candidates who could not be present. This is from Brad Baxter. His top priorities are maintaining public safety and fire services at the current level of excellence, supporting a balanced budget to ensure residents are getting value for their tax dollars, modifying and updating ordinances for the purpose of clarity and ease of enforcement, and adapting to changes in climate and residential building footprints. Continuing to look at ways to reduce noise on Woodward Avenue by supporting new targeted legislation, restoration of legacy hardware such as oak, hickory, and walnut, a long-term view on the tree canopy in Bloomfield Hills. He is in favor of continuing to provide rapid transit access as we currently do today, as long as it remains safe and accessible. Safety paths do not make sense on secondary streets within the city of Bloomfield Hills. There is little support for it. In the case of major roadways like Woodward Avenue or roadways that connect neighborhoods to schools, he believes that safety paths may have a case. He understands and respects and would be sensitive to the concerns of the property owners along those corridors. He's had 20 years of being a resident in the city of Bloomfield Hills, served on the Zoning Board of Appeals for 4 years, 6 years, as of this next election as city commissioner, and served on the planning commission while mayor of the city of Bloomfield Hills. He's a practical problem solver that's willing to look at an issue from all angles, and he likes to collaborate to craft a solution that works for all. He looks for fairness, and he gravitates towards facts and reality when making decisions. In his line of business, he says, you must think outside of the box, and I believe that adds to the toolbox of the City Commission. Next, we have Lauren Fisher. She once again is seeking the opportunity to serve on the City Council because she cares about the city and all of her neighbors. We can all agree that we are fortunate to live in such a beautiful, safe, well-maintained, and well-managed community. Since 2018, she's had the privilege of serving on the Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals and City Council. I hope my service has contributed to preserving the character and high standards of Bloomfield Hills. With a background in commercial lending, real estate, and a degree in business, she brings a fiscally conservative and practical approach to overseeing city finances and policy decisions. My husband Greg and I have enjoyed raising our 4 children in Bloomfield Hills, living in 2 different neighborhoods over the past 30 years. This city is not just our home, it's a community we are invested in, and I remain committed to protecting its unique character for generations to come. If reelected, I will continue to support your fabulous public safety department at full staffing levels, implement road replacement plan in a financially prudent way, work to curtail noise along Woodward, improve communication with our residents, clarify and enforce ordinance using newly adopted user-friendly software, replace dilapidated street signs with a durable, consistent design, protect our AAA bond and recommended reserves, support property values by preserving the city's distinct character. She will not support any millage increase, vote for safety paths at a cost of $1 million per mile and ripping up our tree-lined streets, allow changing the character of our city with increased density. And she thanks you for your trust and support. Next, we have Susan McCarthy. I'm running for a position on the Bloomfield Hills City Commission. I've been a city commissioner since 2015. Prior to that time, I served on the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Commission for the city. I've lived in Bloomfield Hills for 20 years, where my husband and I raised our 3 boys. As a city commissioner, my focus has been financial stability without raising taxes, preserving the unique character of our city, supporting our public safety and fire department, maintaining the quality of our roads without assessing residents, communication and transparency with residents and the business community. While I've been on the commission, the city has had a balanced budget every year. We approved the purchase of a new, larger fire truck. We have replaced and resurfaced all roads within the city, including a new chip seal on the dirt roads. We have made significant contributions to the pension and OPEC funds. Our goal is to have them 100% funded by 2027. The city has had several construction projects as older homes are replaced with newer, larger homes. We've enforced city ordinances to maintain the city's standards, and we've maintained our AAA bond rating and one of the lowest millage rates in Oakland County, maintaining the distinctive nature of Bloomfield Hills. She also welcomes all residents to reach out to her if you have any questions. If you need her information, I can give you that at the end of the forum. So, now that I have read that, all candidates, let's see. The format, all candidates will answer the questions submitted by the audience and screen for duplication and appropriateness by Marie Donegan and Jerry Rinchler. And the format is as follows. All candidates will be given 1 minute for opening statements in alphabetical order. Closing statements will also be 1 minute in reverse order. All candidates will have 1 minute in rotation to answer each question unless I extend it. All candidates are, as I said before, Alan Ackerman, Alice Buckley, Brian Jennings. And now I'd like to begin with the question segment of our format. We will begin with Mr. Ackerman. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. We are going to begin with your opening statement.
Well, thank you. Thank the League of Women Voters for putting this on. It's such an important part of our system. I went through this last year watching my son sitting like I'm sitting here now when he ran for office. I've never run for anything before except for precinct delegate in a couple of communities. I've lived in Bloomfield Hills for since approximately September 12, 2001. And my 3 kids grew up in this town, and they live all nearby. And I'm doing this because I'm a lawyer. I have an interest in this public service. I've been on the board of Northern Michigan University for one of my appointments, and I was on the Michigan Bond Authority. And also, I just enjoy this. I got 15 seconds, and I want to do this because I'm not working full-time as a lawyer, and I think this is a good thing for me to do. Thank you.
Alice?
Thank you very much. My name is Alice Buckley, and this is my story. I grew up near City Hall, very near to City Hall where we're meeting tonight. I graduated from St. Hugo's Elementary School in Bloomfield Hills and Marion High School, and my senior prom was held at the Kingsley Inn's Ballroom just across the street from here. My husband and I have lived in Bloomfield Hills for almost 24 years, and I have very deep roots and a real love for this city. I've been most impressed with how over the years our residents and leaders have taken great care to preserve the natural beauty and the unique personality of our city, and I've done my best to continue that legacy. I've been honored to have served for the past 6 years as a city commissioner, including a term as mayor, and as a member of both the zoning board and the planning commission. I'm a licensed attorney with a long career in commercial contract and business law, including roles as divisional vice president of commercial law for Kmart and assistant general counsel of Sears Holdings Corporation. I have a background that has been invaluable in city governance.
Thank you. Brian?
Hello, my name is Brian Jennings. I've been a resident in Bloomfield Hills for close to 30 years now, and I just love the city of Bloomfield Hills. I'm running because I have some time on my hands now that I'm retired, and I really respect, I love the city's services. I love how the business of Bloomfield Hills goes about their business, and I just want to keep it going on the same track. I just love the city. I love the people, my neighbors, everybody you meet throughout the city. I just love that fact of it, and it inspires me to run because I want to be a part of it.
Thank you. Anjali?
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Anjali Prasad. I host a TV program on Bloomfield Community Television. It's called AP on Play, the purpose of which is to promote public education and civic engagement in the community. I am an attorney by trade. I've spent 25 years working in the criminal justice system. I'm a former federal prosecutor. I now own my own firm, Prasad Legal, just down the street. I grew up here in Bloomfield Hills. I raised both my kids here in Bloomfield Hills. My son is a high school senior in the audience tonight. And my parents moved to Bloomfield Hills in the early 80s, and they still live here, and they are here tonight. So with 3 generations of my loved ones in the city, I felt the calling to serve, which is why I'm here.
Thank you. That concludes the time, that concludes the opening questions, and now we're going to go to the audience questions. What unique skills do you have? And for that, we're going to go in order, and we're going to start with Alan.
Well, this city government. And,
Let me finish the question. What unique skills do you have that will make you an effective commissioner?
well, I think my most unique skills, I've been on all sides of this. As people who know me, I've been fighting. I fought with the city of Detroit for the first 25 years of my practice. Coleman Young was my favorite whipping boy, and so to speak, and I was his favorite too. And as an adversary, I learned a lot about city government. I'm now the city attorney in the city of Trenton, and I've worked in some municipal affairs for years, mostly, well, almost completely my eminent domain work. And I've watched the government work right and work wrong. The city's 98% there. I've been on the zoning board of appeals here in this town for 3 years. And the biggest single problem that I foresee in the future is what we're going to do with all those ball courts, the ones that make all the noise and people don't want near the house because it's great for the orthopedic surgeons when everybody loses their knees in 2 years. But the truth of the matter is that we have some issues on variances.
Thank you. Alice, what unique skills do you have that will make you an effective commissioner?
As I mentioned earlier, I have had very relevant professional experience with a long career in commercial contract and business law, and the city is much like a publicly traded corporation. Many of the issues that I dealt with in my 37-year career at Kmart and Sears, we're dealing with right now in the city commission. Also, I have a lot of experience in reviewing and negotiating and drafting contracts and ordinances, retaining counsel, actually determining whether or not they're right for the proper job that they have, and minutes and resolutions, I know that. And I'm very well prepared for all the meetings, and I'm a good listener, and I make good decisions.
Thank you. Brian?
You repeat the question?
Certainly. What unique skills do you have that will make you an effective commissioner?
Well, I'm a people person. I get along with almost everybody, and I certainly appreciate everybody's opinions in our community. I'm a football coach. Was at Seahome for 1 year as a football coach, and I'm going to be a football coach at Cranbrook starting this season. So I love people. I love the community, and I just think that just being somebody that you can relate to and you can come to whenever you want to, and if you have a disagreement or you have something, I can relate to that, and I'm always open for that.
Thank you. Anjali?
I would say that I'm an advocate by trade. I've spent the last 25 years advocating within the criminal justice system. I was a prosecutor for half of my career, giving voice to victims who needed representation. I now represent, I'm a criminal defense attorney and family law attorney, so I'm the person you call when your back is up against a wall and you need help. I'm empathetic, I'm articulate, I'm approachable and accessible, and my idea is to be an advocate for the residents. We love Bloomfield Hills. There's very little wrong with Bloomfield Hills, but you might have an issue, and I want to be the go-to person you call so we could try to explore this issue and give you the quality of life that you need.
Thank you. Okay, now we are going to start with you, Alice, for question number 2. Should the city provide pedestrian paths on major roadways?
Well, that's something that we've considered always. We've priced them out in recent years, and even very small segments are in the millions of dollars. And we have a very small tax base with which to spread that extreme cost of installation and ongoing maintenance. So the demand for the safety paths would have to be extremely great to justify the cost as well as the disruption to our environment. So we keep monitoring it, we look at what people want, and we just haven't seen the level of demand that would justify it.
Thank you. Brian?
Absolutely not. There will be no pathways in Bloomfield Hills. I travel around, and I go down Lone Pine and I go down Lasser. I just do not see the point when it's not utilized. It maybe 2 or 3 people I see utilizing this cost, and to me it disrupts the beauty of Bloomfield Hills, and I would be against that 100%.
Thank you. Anjali?
I know people want pedestrian paths, but I have to tell you, I raised 2 boys here, and we found plenty of places to walk. We would walk in the nature center right there off of Franklin. We would walk in downtown Birmingham. There was no shortage for places for families to take walks. I understand that's not in the city of Bloomfield Hills, but I do think many people chose the city of Bloomfield Hills because it's kind of this quiet bedroom community. So I do want to hear what the residents have to say about it. I do want to look at the finances of it, but I want to assure everybody that there are places to walk with your family and your loved ones all over town. So I wouldn't stress out too much about the pedestrian paths.
Thank you. Alan?
I'm sorry I got here 12 minutes late because I just went down Long Lake Road by mistake. And the reason I say that is because I was the attorney who was involved in the widening of Long Lake Road. And I made it so expensive for them that they did not make along like 4 lanes. This is 16 years ago. Bike paths, the walking paths don't make sense in this community. There's plenty of walking in the streets, first of all, and the expense is far more than $1 million a mile that we've all talked about, and we've raised that number. It's ludicrous thought, and it just doesn't make sense here.
Thank you. Okay, so we are going to start question 3 with you, Brian. Should the city provide an opportunity for residents to attend commission meetings by Zoom broadcast?
I'll answer that simply, yes.
Okay, Anjali?
Yes, 100%. I think local government should breed trust and transparency. And in my busiest days, when I was getting my kids off the bus and cooking dinner and managing my work schedule, I wouldn't have been able to make a meeting in person. But I would have really liked the opportunity to Zoom in so that I could get to know my commissioners and get to know what the issues are in the city. So 100% yes.
Thank you. Alan
Yes.
and Alice?
I would say yes too, but in addition, we also will take letters, we'll read them into the record, we'll take an email, read it into the record. We also have recorded meetings available on our website after the fact, and in addition, they are available for in real-time viewing through the Bloomfield Township Community Cable Channel on YouTube. So we have a lot of options in addition to Zoom.
Thank you. Okay, we will move to question 4. Do you think the city should be more proactive in addressing sustainability and climate warming issues? And we'll start with Anjali.
I think that the entire planet Earth should be mindful of sustainability and environmental issues. I do think that the city can and does promote sustainability and environmental issues. I'm happy to hear what ideas we might have for the future. Little things like recycling or the French water drains. I mean, things like that. 100%. I think the city should try to promote these kind of ways to protect our planet and sustain the planet. I don't know if it should go on a tangent and spend a lot of money on these issues that the state of Michigan already legislates, and we even get some directive from the federal government. But I guess I would want to kick it back to the residents and say, hey, do you guys have some ideas for us? Let's hear what they are, because I do think we should all be mindful of this planet and our environment.
Thank you. Brian?
I would just simply say that, my view is the citizens of Bloomfield Hills, environmentally, there are some concerns, but I think it's further down the line of what we need to be worrying about here in the city of Bloomfield Hills. I just think that the top 5 reasons, I know that it's up there, but it's not in my top 5. Let's put it that way.
Okay, Alice?
Well, I'm very proud that Bloomfield Hills is a green city, and it's a green city because we promote trees, and we love trees. And when you walk down the streets of Bloomfield Hills, you know you're here because of the beautiful green canopies above your heads. And trees are a natural line of defense against air pollution, climate change, you name it. Trees do everything. And we have a very detailed city ordinance that protects trees. We also have a tree planting program that's extremely popular. Our master plan is a guideline that we use in everything we do, and our master plan has a huge space in it for trees.
Thank you.
So you would agree that it's going in the right direction?
Yes.
Okay, thank you all for answering that. Our next question is, what are the most important challenges facing Bloomfield Hills?
What about Mr. Ackerman?
Oh my God, I am so sorry.
It's all right. I like not having to answer the question.
I'm
I'll skip right over it. It's
I
all
would-
right. It's like a law school. I used to duck. Everybody used to, have to answer questions. I sat in the back and I used to hide below the table the whole time. So it just, Alice got it right. I don't know what the city council did the last 10 years on this tree topic, but on the zoning appeals, I love the fact that there's such a push to have trees, and it really makes the difference in our city. And it's, I've been in our home long enough that I'm now going through my second rush of what's called the oak disease, the oak wilt, which is now coming in. And I lost all those trees 30 years ago, and there's nothing like having trees in front of the house.
Okay, well, since I did that to you, I'm going to start with you this time.
Very vague, okay.
It's my fault.
No
Is
problem.
that my second or third mistake? So it's really complicated keeping track of this grid. How do you plan to involve the residents in the decision-making process?
You don't have to have them involved in everything, but what residents need to do is have the opportunity to receive the public notices, and they can look them up if they want, which they don't. We have Zoom TV in Trenton, and I'm sitting next to the mayor, and, it's good days when we have 3 people who are involved in something, but when it came to taking down the McAuliffe Steel Plant, the 80 acres on the Detroit River, which was just a disaster forever, we had 350 people calling from 8 o'clock to 3:40 in the morning, 2 days in a row. And you just want to make it available, that if it's there, if there's a real issue. I don't foresee one right now. The next one will probably be a rezoning of something along Woodward. That's my guess.
Thank you. Alice?
Well, I think we have ways to involve the residents now in decision-making. All our information is on the Bloomfield Hills City website, including, I believe, our phone numbers and our email addresses, and we're ready, the commissioners are available to talk to anyone who wants to provide information. In addition, they can come to the city meetings and make comments at the comment section of the meeting. They can send emails, they can send text messages that we will read into the record. I think that it's out there, the means are out there, and it's, as Alan said, I think it's making sure that the residents are aware of them and are actually willing to provide their input.
Thank you. Brian?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. How do you plan to involve the residents in the decision-making process?
Well, they're vital to that. I would be available to anybody, my phone number. You can come over to my house if you want, you'd like. If there's any questions or you have concerns about anything that's happening in Bloomfield Hills, I'll be available 24/7 for our citizens. I just believe that that's the way you should do it. And, if there's any issues or we have my garbage didn't get picked up today. You call me and we'll make sure that something gets straightened out, right, here in the Bloomfield Hills. So yeah, I'm just gonna be wide open about it, and you can call me and I'll be available, which I think is good in politics. Yeah.
Thank you. Anjali?
I actually have a very specific plan for involving our youth. As mentioned, my son is a high school senior, so a lot of this has come, my ideas have come from talking with him and talking to other high school seniors in the area. We have incredibly talented high schoolers going to IA, going to Cranbrook, Detroit Country Day, where I attended, Bloomfield Hills High School. So my first idea was to create a youth advisory board to bring these incredibly smart and charitable high school students together with the city commission and talk about civic engagement and promote youth civics involvement with local government. My second idea was to create some type of system where any high school student, if interested, could pick a topic of their choosing related to the running of the city and make a presentation before the commission and provide testimony before the commission. I thought this would be a win-win for everybody. The student would get experience public speaking, working with government, and I will stop talking,
Thank
but those
you.
are my ideas.
Okay, this question goes to Brian. What are your top 3 goals when you are elected to improve services and communication with the residents?
Well, I think that what's great about Bloomfield Hills, there are 3 things. We are a safe community, and our police and our fire departments are one of the best, if not in the state, in the nation. I would want to keep that up. Our school districts would like to support them as much as possible, and I think just being a little bit more transparent with our residents about what's happening in the city of Bloomfield Hills.
Alan?
Our single biggest problem, right, is a twofold problem, is on the zoning board. I'm noticing that we're giving a lot of variances. And the variances are because people aren't being harmed, and our rules are too strict or not written properly. This pergola thing, the thing behind the houses, X feet, is an issue that goes on. And I don't want to give variances out, because if we give variances on some things, we're gonna end up giving variances on everything, and we'll be very unhappy. The other thing that bothers me in the city is the garbage, and I got cheated for $187 by the garbage people 7 or 8 years ago when they just stopped giving garbage service, and they gave me a 4-letter word when I called them asking for my money back, and my concern that we don't have our garbage getting picked up on a regular basis recently, and it's community-wide throughout the county.
Thank you. Anjali?
Public safety, which includes the safety of our children at the schools. I recognize that those schools are not physically in the city of Bloomfield Hills, but to me it goes hand in hand. Public safety includes the safety of our loved ones. That would be my number 1 priority. I don't think it's a problem in Bloomfield Hills, but I think we can always do better.
Thank you. Okay, Alan, we're going to start with you again. Do you think the city of Bloomfield Hills should try to partner with the county or township to provide park and playground for residents?
Well, would that mean that we'd have to produce new parks in our community? I mean, I'm not sure of the intent of I may be missing your question.
Well, this is from the audience. Do you think the city of Bloomfield Hills should try to partner with the county or township to provide park/playground for residents?
I'm not sure if we need to. We have ample parks and playgrounds here. I got a feeling that if we do that with the county, we're gonna getting stuck with one more bill that we don't want. And this isn't like the transportation on buses where we needed buses throughout the tri-county area. And all it's gonna do is we're gonna get one more tax on all our homes, and it won't be X mills, but it's gonna be something.
Alice?
I don't think so. I mean, we are very, very fortunate. We have Cranbrook in the middle of our city. No one else in the whole country has something like Cranbrook in the middle of our city. I go over there all the time to walk. There's multiple walking paths. There's beautiful fountains, beautiful buildings, nature, and it's in the center of our city, like the centerpiece. So, no, I don't think we need to partner with anyone else for parks and recreation.
Ryan?
Yeah, I 100% agree. We do not need to partner with anybody. Bluefield Hills is just beautiful, and we don't need to get involved with anybody else. Bloomfield Hills can handle our business ourselves, and great community we don't need to be aligned with anybody else. Thank you.
Thank you. Anjali?
I agree with everything that everybody has said, and I'll just reiterate that we just had the best times walking in the nature center or playing in Booth Park or visiting Cranbrook Gardens, and there is a multitude of places around the community that we can enjoy with our loved ones. So I see no reason to form any kind of partnership where I fear the citizens of Bloomfield Hills might have to bear the brunt of the payment. We don't need it. We've got a lot of great places to spend with our spouses, our children, our grandparents. You have it.
Thank you. And that was everybody for that question. We're going to start with you, Alice. As a city commissioner, would you consider putting a sidewalk on Wood? Oh, this was already done. If Bloomfield Hills got $1 million grant, how should the city spend it?
Well, I think the grant might specify how we can spend it. I don't think we can just take the money and spend it for whatever we want. It depends upon who gave us the money and for what purpose. I guess if just hypothetically someone gave us money that we could use for anything, I don't know. We have adequate money in our budget for almost everything that we need, so I don't know, other than the specific purpose, like if it's for fixing a road, fixing a culvert, fixing a pond that's overflowing, it just depends upon what the purpose is from the grant.
Thank you. Brian?
Police and the fire department and the great people that work in this building. I would spend it on that. The police department, which is awesome and great here in Bloomfield Hills. The fire department and anybody in here that deserves a raise.
Thank you. Anjali?
I think if hypothetically you gave us $1 million or we received $1 million, I would first put the money toward the police department because I know they're fully staffed, but I think increased police presence is the best way to fight the type of crime that we have here in the city of Bloomfield Hills. So I would love to see even more police officers on the Bloomfield Hills Police Department if we had $1 million. I would also probably want to update their equipment. I think that I know that the cars are getting old and that's an issue, and I just think our police force should have top of the line equipment.
Thank you. Okay, do we have time for more? Okay, last question, I guess. We're going to start with you, Brian.
Got me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I'm used to you starting.
It's all right. I had two older sisters. I always felt like I was pushed aside. So, I look at what I'm seeing of how we get money from the original Biden, or by the first $1 million we got in 20 or 21. It was under Trump in Trenton, and it cleaned up all the environmental contamination for a hospital that was closed. It was the old Riverside Hospital. I think if we get money here, we're going to get it for specific purposes. I don't know whether we have any contaminated areas here that we are concerned about, but the first thing I look at is cleaning up any kind of contaminated areas, because that's where the most money will be from the federal government. I mean, don't forget, this $1 million is coming from someone else. It's not our tax money. So if we have that choice, the second area I think is trees, because I just think this is a tree city and we want to have them. And the third area is reserving the funds for new equipment, because there's fixed price. 3 companies own all fire engine companies, fire manufacturers, engine manufacturers, and they raised the prices of fire engines by 40%. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for the last question, we're going to start with you, Brian. How would you work with your administration should revenue sharing from the state disappear?
I apologize, could you repeat that again?
How would you work with your administration should revenue sharing from the state disappear?
That's a very tough question. It's a bridge that I would cross if I had to cross it at some point. It's hard to answer because if it ever happened, I'd have to think long and hard. I'd have to talk to my constituents. I'd have to talk to the board, I'd have to talk to everybody, and what I would say is that I would try to figure out the best people to contact that have the knowledge to be able to negotiate that path.
Thank you. Anjali?
Well, that would be a very tough dynamic for all parties. And I would seek counsel from the professionals, yes, be empathetic to the individuals it's affecting, and navigate through almost an unfathomable situation, all of which I do have experience doing in my work in the criminal justice system.
Thank you. Alan?
The reality is, if we lost our state revenue sharing, it would be just like when we lost federal revenue sharing in many metropolitan communities, larger cities like Detroit. And if we lose it, I think that unfortunately we will cut employees and we will cut our services, or else we will raise taxes. And if we have to, we will. I don't think this community will forego having the fire and police protection they now want. They won't be spending money on trees if there's no money there.
Thank you. Alice?
Well, I think we just have to raise taxes, I suppose. I mean, we can't cut what we have in the city. We have to keep it nice. We have to keep it as it is. We have to keep it beneficial for everyone.
Thank you. That concludes the time for questions. The candidates will now be given 1 minute to make a closing statement in the reverse order of the opening statements, beginning with Anjali, and then Mr. Jennings, then Alice, and Alan. Would you like to begin?
Yes, I first would like to acknowledge and thank Alice Buckley for being here as the only incumbent. I'm a citizen of Bloomfield Hills, and I really respect that an incumbent has taken the time to sit here with us. So hats off to Alice. As stated, I have kind of a multi-generational approach to this city. I am a professional who works here. I have raised children here, and my parents live here, so I don't think there's any issue any resident could have that I wouldn't relate to. And I'm trying to be, what I want to be is your go-to person. I cannot solve everybody's problems, but I can assure you that I will give your voice importance, and I will ensure that you are heard by your local government, which is how we build trust and confidence in the city.
Thank you. Brian?
Well, I would just like to thank everybody in the city of Bloomfield Hills and everybody that showed up today. I'm running because I love the city of Bloomfield Hills. I mean, it's just an answer that it's just because I have time and I love the city of Bloomfield Hills. And so, I would like to say that for all the voters out there, please vote for me. Vote for a bald guy.
Alice?
And I like to have fun with it too, so.
First, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and all of you tonight for having us here. It was a lot of work, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Preserving our safety and providing great city services, preserving our city's beauty, and making good decisions. These are the words that have been my guideposts for the past 6 years as a city commissioner for the city of Bloomfield Hills. And every decision I've been made has been guided by one simple goal: protecting, preserving, and enhancing the city we all love so that our quality of life is the very best it can be. I remain deeply committed to making these priorities my focus every single day. And with your support, I'll continue working hard to keep Bloomfield Hills safe, beautiful, and thriving for generations to come.
Alan?
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank again League of Women Voters. I want to serve in the city because I think the public service is such an important part of how our society prevails and succeeds. And over the last years, the experiences I've had in doing something other than fighting the government and being a city attorney and on the boards has taught me that there's a lot to do. I think we're going to have to change some zoning regulations. We're going to probably end up having to look at the city charter because of where we are versus 30 years ago. We're going to have to figure out how to develop and maintain what's called downtown Bloomfield at Long Lake and Woodward. And some of the things the city council has done the last 7 years, 10 years with the trees and other things has just been fabulous. The only mistake we've really made as a town, in my eyes, is garbage. We've made a mess of it, and we're working with everybody else in all 3 counties doing a bad service the way we've run the garbage affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. The League of Women Voters thanks the audience, the candidates, and Bloomfield Community Cable for making this forum possible. For further nonpartisan information on these candidates, please visit vote411.org. The League of Women Voters website will also post the rebroadcast times of tonight's forums. Funding of the League of Women Voters comes from generous contributions from concerned businesses and citizens. Our membership is open to all individuals over the age of 16. Thank you all for coming tonight, and please remember to vote on November 4th.